and PC.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to AP Plus Podcast. I'm here with Anto and Elliot as always, and I'm Phil, of course.
What's up, guys?
Hey, we're finally back. Our first show for 2016.
2016.
And we're just super excited about VR, and we're sort of going to keep that subject going as our last show is about. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, this is a bigger year than last year was for VR.
Yeah,
so.
2016 looks good.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. CES just got over.
I know.
Stuff, so.
I know, and obviously the announcement of how much Oculus is going to cost, and
that's right, $599.
I know.
Oh boy!
Before shipping and tax in the U.S. It's a little more expensive elsewhere around the world.
We need real sound effects next time for that.
We do. That'd be good. Yeah, so that was quite a big blow to a lot of people, but
yeah,
you know,
I
think
quite a big reaction. But
well, I mean, when you're promised $350 and it goes up significantly, I mean, nearly double.
Promise 350 is a bit of an overstatement.
Okay, not promised. That was the wrong word.
He let it slip out his mouth.
They were hopeful,
rumored
for a price. Yeah, and actually, I just saw recently he did mention that they could have released a $400 product. He said they could have. It would have been fine. But you still would have needed like a crazy high-end PC.
Yeah.
Anyways. And so they'd rather make a product that was as good as possible that could last a while.
Yeah.
For a few years. Because I don't think they plan on doing a new headset every year. So.
Okay, well, here's a question, and this is sort of off the subject, but programs like Photoshop and all these 3D rendering you guys use, when they crash, what is causing the crash? Is it you doing too much, or is it literally the computer? Because, and I'll relate why this comes up to VR, but is it your software, like the hardware that you guys have is why it's crashing? Like if you had top of the line stuff, it wouldn't?
No, it would crash even with top of the line hardware. It's just something, programs, that's just how they are. I mean, they just have little hiccups here and there, and some are worse than others.
They're just so complicated that it's it's impossible to.
It's essentially you, right? You're just doing so much, and it's overload, and
honestly,
it just has to.
Photoshop hasn't crashed on me in forever. Photoshop's a pretty solid program at this time. A program like ZBrush crashes more often, but also I'm pushing ZBrush really hard, and so my computer runs out of RAM.
You can crash because there's an error in the program and it does something wrong, so to speak, or but you can also crash just because you load a file that's too big. You type 10,000 in a field that you really should only type 10 in. And it tries to do some math that your program just crashes.
Okay, so the reason why I'm breaking this up is because, like Palmer said, he could have released a lower quality product. However, he didn't. And with that, to me, that meant that this thing's going to be here for a little while, and you can upgrade your computer. 2 years down the line, you can or 1 year, whatever, you can upgrade your computer parts, like the new graphics card or whatever. But the Oculus or HTC Vive or whatever it is still good, and it can still hold, what's upcoming, the new games, the new graphics, or whatever that VR will prove next time. So to me, it's like an investment. That's what the 600 seems to me. It's like,
yeah, I mean, this tech, the Oculus tech requires the top of the line PCs now, which will be the more common PCs in 2 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you
it's more like a monitor, like how like a monitor lasts through time a little bit more reliably than something that actually does processing.
Yeah.
It's still going to create a good picture 2 years from now. It's just what picture you're going to put on it. It's kind of what's analogous. Although, of course, there's more going on in these VR helmets, but than just displaying something to you. Yeah. But the analogy is not useless. It still makes sense.
To me, I feel like a lot of consumers are so used to phones, and obviously phones are every few years, you run through it. And I think you were mentioning, Phil, that Palmer said somewhere in between console and a phone, or right?
He said between consoles and phones, but closer to phones.
And consoles are 7 or something years.
It really 8 years. Yeah, it can be more than that. I mean,
and then obviously a phone's every few years. I mean, everyone by 2 years your phone's out of date.
I have a feeling that it's 3 years. I have a feeling that 3 years is pretty much
how long the headset's going to last?
The headset cycles. Yeah, 4 years is probably more. Okay, so maybe 3 years for more hardcore.
I think,
and then
3 years, maybe 2-3 years before we see the next versions from the same companies. But I mean, I think you'll see people making use of their their very old VR unit for a long time.
Absolutely.
Like
I just think that resolution in the early days will upgrade fast.
Just like how you can still find somebody today gaming on a CRT monitor somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I think in the same context, the guy might not argue that it's a better picture, but he'll pat it on the side and be like, "This bad boy still works.
It still runs." Yeah.
And I think you'll have a lot of people using their old first gen Oculuses like that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like check this bad boy out. It still works. And, and it's still it's not bad. It still works for me.
We still do that with Nintendo.
Yeah, absolutely.
While other people will boast having something that's
the best,
a better product.
Yeah, exactly.
A newer, better product.
Like, I do think there's a couple things that will kind of push, at least like not everybody, like you're saying, there's going to be a majority, a population, an amount of people that stick with the older ones. But I think higher resolution up to probably until we get to like 8 or 12K, probably 8K is probably where most people will be happy enough, is from what I understand. And 12K is pretty much perfect. But also like wireless, when wireless comes around, I think a lot of people will upgrade then.
Oh yeah.
So there's a couple things. I think those are like within the next 5 years. I think not the 8K resolution, but I think wireless.
Definitely wireless.
Yeah.
I think that's big.
And definitely some higher resolution, but
sure.
I don't know. Who knows how high.
It just comes with it.
Especially if foveated rendering becomes a thing.
Yeah.
More of a real thing that's in products.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the next 5 years, it might be quicker, honestly, upgrades in the next 5 years than it will be for the 5 years after that.
Yeah.
Unless like they start adding additional things like, feeling,
foveated, what is it? Foveated rendering?
The foveated rendering, I think, I'm hoping will happen in the next 5 years.
Yeah, that's going to be epic.
Yeah.
That and wireless, I think, are going to be the most epic things.
If you can get to like high resolution, like I don't know. I'm not sure. Obviously, I don't know what number we would need. But and then foveated rendering and wireless.
I would love to see foveated rendering on just
Can you tell what people gaming. That is, by the way?
So foveated rendering is basically where they track your eye. They like with maybe a camera or some other device, and they look at where your eye's looking, because when your eye, you have a blind spot that fits all around where you're looking at. It's very hard to tell it's there because your brain fills in the gaps really well for you, and it makes everything just look fine. But in tests, what they've shown is that whatever you're looking at is very. What is it? If you hold your hand out.
Yeah, it's about the size of your
thumbnail.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, about the size of your thumb or your thumbnail is actually the only area you really see detail. Outside of that,
full resolution.
Yeah, in full resolution, and outside of that, your eye starts to lose detail quite quickly, and even though you don't really see this, like you look around, everything looks fine. It truly is there when they do tests on people. Like you do lose resolution, but your brain doesn't make things look blurry. Your brain makes things look just fine for you.
Right.
So what this foveated rendering does is it takes advantage of it. It tracks where your eye's looking and renders only a high resolution right where it's looking. And then as it goes away from that point, it lowers the resolution. It's a pretty genius approach, and apparently it works really well in actual tests. That's actually what surprises me even more. The theory is sound, but the practice kind of works out.
Yeah, in the demo, I think what it says is like for the exterior, the farthest out of your field of view is 20% resolution, and then as you get closer, it becomes 60% resolution, and then only the very center is 100% resolution. So you save all that data.
Yeah, you save a lot of computing power,
which basically to the layman consumer means all of a sudden your graphics card is more powerful.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it really results in.
Yeah.
It means that your graphics card can do a lot more than it used to, because it now can just track where your eye's looking and only render what you're looking at.
And honestly, I feel like the foveated rendering could actually almost be very helpful even in first generation.
Yeah.
It wouldn't necessarily make the experience any better than what we're going to get with high-end computers, but I think it could have potentially helped lower-end computers handle VR early on.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if a low-end, like a 770 or even something less powerful than that, rendering just that center of a monitor could probably handle most modern games at high frame rates.
Yeah, I mean, who knows just how much it'll bring back the last gen or two of hardware.
Yeah, exactly.
Back to being relevant or something.
Yeah,
I know. I mean, it saves you money in the end, especially with everything's expensive. People question right now, they're on the fence of even just grabbing the DK2 to save developer kit 2 to save money rather than the consumer version 1. But obviously the CV1 is way better.
The CV1 is a beautiful product.
Yeah.
Yep. I haven't tried the Vive, but I've tried the Oculus CV1, and it's really pretty. It's a very nice piece of hardware. It's very comfortable. extremely fantastic.
Yeah.
But so I understand $600 doesn't really surprise me.
Here's the thing with the $600 that sort of hit me personally is that unfortunately the VR world is not ready for someone like me. It's too much money for me to invest. It's like I don't even have a computer, which is fine. I'm not even complaining about that. It's just all in all, it's just not ready for someone like me who just wants to play. Yeah. It's really for developers still. Yeah. The CV1, is a consumer version. However, it's like the best version for developers. That's sort of what it seems to me. And as a consumer for someone who just wants to have fun, and play like Lucky's Tale or, any freaking Mario-esque game. But yeah, it's just not there for me. So I'll be patient and I'll just wait it out.
Yeah, it's definitely early on, it's definitely for the enthusiasts, the hardcore, and, the people, and honestly the people who already have nice PCs or at least PCs they can upgrade without spending too much money.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how many people are going to be buying, $1,200 PCs.
On top of the $600, so you're dropping at least $2K. Let's round it up, $2K with everything.
But to be fair, if you took all the Steam gamers out there and you put a line out there for all the ones that had specs high enough to work with existing VR, I think that would include a lot of gamers.
It would.
There's a lot of gamers out there with a lot of high end PCs. It's a huge market. Now, would all those people also be interested in VR? That's another question, but. It's just something to consider at least. And Vive's really focusing on that market.
Yeah, it's the primary. It makes sense that it'd be their primary market right now.
But there is a whole market for people who are trying to be reeled into this who have nothing. And that's a tough market. It's a weird thing. I don't know if that's the right term for a tough market, but those people are hard to it's a high entry rate.
Right.
A lot of money.
Man. Yeah,
and I think even though they don't have people like me, who are the entry, rate, as you're saying, I think there still is a big market for the people that are ready, like you guys, for example, or even like the developers and all the people on Steam and your friends and everyone. Those guys are ready, and it might still be a little bit pricey, but at least there's, a large amount of people out there.
I will say though there is a big percentage of gamers out there who are ready, or and non-gamers who are ready for VR. But I will say gaming community is weird about it. They're very weird about VR because I obviously work with all gamers, and I know we talk to them. Conversations about VR, and I occasionally just hear things from around because when they announced the $600 price, it really was everybody was like, "Can you believe that?" And it was very negative, because these people are not VR enthusiasts; they're gamers.
Well, I mean, you've heard my take on this is actually I think VR is like a siren to the gamers in a way with that Greek mythology thing.
Oh, sure.
I think a lot of gamers think that VR is the next step in gaming, and they're not exactly wrong. But I think what a lot of people don't realize is the current demographic that's called gamers is not exactly represent just the future demographic of people who want to use VR.
Oh, definitely.
The demographic of people who want to use VR includes people would even include people like my mom. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It include a whole bunch of non-gamers and people who would never be included in the gamer demographic.
Yeah.
And I think here, if I could sum up my point, actually make my point, I would put it this way: I don't think you're going to replace what games like World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, and Destiny do for people right now. I don't think VR is gonna replace that.
I think what's gonna happen is I think those games will eventually be in VR in a way.
Yeah, in some extent.
But I guess for gamers of the people who are playing games like World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
If that game ever became a VR game, it would be a much smaller step than people who are. Than the other experiences that VR is going to offer.
Yeah.
VR is going to offer real experiences where playing World of Warcraft in VR, first off, you probably won't be playing it first person because you'll probably get sick. It would probably be something where you're floating above your character. That's how you usually play, those types of games. And so it's going to be a traditional game played where you have a free head movement of VR.
There's going to be
what if it was first person?
There's fatigue in VR. I think those experiences, people are going to want a certain amount of beginning and end, like in movies. Do you know what I mean?
There is fatigue.
Whereas games right now are meant to go on. The kinds of games I'm comparing them to are the kinds of games that people play for for impressive many hour long stretches that like you get surprised at.
I guess what I'm saying is like, a game like LOL, for example, could be played in VR where it wasn't more exhausting than currently playing. It just wouldn't be a full VR experience. It'd be like you sitting in chair God mode, looking down at this little play set in front of you. And so, and that's like really not taking advantage of VR. That's
no, exactly. That's a weird port. And then you bring up LOL, right? League of Legends. Like that's a very competitive game, right?
Absolutely.
Then what I would say to that is unless VR adds it would be immediately judged on whether or not it added or subtracted a competitive edge.
That's fair. Yeah, absolutely.
And it would only be used if it added to the competitive edge of it. And that's the whole type of gaming that would actually judge something like that would actually say, oh, well, I can kick more ass with a joystick on a screen or whatever than I can in VR. So let me take this VR helmet off. That's the kind of thing that's going to be like traditional gaming. Doesn't attract people to VR. They're like, screw this, I want to go back and compete.
Yeah, I
want to get back really high up on the scoreboard.
I think those
people want to put the VR helmet on.
I think some will, but I think you're right. I think it's not going to bring people to VR. Some people who like VR already will compromise and they'll play some things like that in VR just because they would rather do it in VR.
Yeah.
Because they like VR and that's really what they like, but they also like some of these games.
It's going to attract a lot of people
aren't going to be like, they're not going to be like, I want to buy a headset to play LOL. It's going to be like, I have a headset. Oh, LOL.
Yeah. Is VR compatible?
Yeah. Like, okay, I'll play it. But if you're right, if it had like a competitive disadvantage, they would stop. They would absolutely stop using the headset. You can still use the headset for a virtual screen.
Yeah.
But at that point, you're really just not at all taking advantage of virtual reality. You're using an artificial screen.
Yeah.
Virtual desktop.
And I think, so it's like, it might seem like that virtual reality is trying to serve itself to that demographic, but I would argue that it's not. I think virtual reality is priming itself for everyone else. Not the hardcore gamers, actually.
I totally agree with you.
It's the same kind of people. Like, how some games are judged by their replayability or how many hours you can get out of it. Like, imagine judging a movie like that, It's like, oh, that movie's only 2 hours? It's only 1 hour? Like, come on, give me more. Versus a game that's like, or a movie that's like, oh, that movie is 12 hours? It must be awesome. That's how a lot of games are actually judged. Man, it's kind of ridiculous. That's not a game
There's
anymore.
That movie.
Like, what is this?
Have you ever heard of the movie, I think it's called Seven Samurai?
No.
So it's an old Akira Kurosawa Japanese samurai movie from whatever.
Yeah.
The movie's 4 hours long, right? It's a great movie, but holy shit. It took me like 5 viewings to finish this movie. Even though it's only 4 hours long, it's an exhausting 4 hours. Sure. And I remember I was like, God damn, dude, couldn't they just like shrunk this down like, an hour and a half?
Was 2 hours not enough?
Man, but I mean, it's so good, but still it's just too much,
It's just a lot.
I mean, definitely a lot of empty space in those 4 hours. He likes to hold camera shots and kind of extend things longer than need to be. Like games.
But yeah, no, that's kind of my take on it. I think it's a bit of a bait for the gaming community right now. I think what they'll find is once it's here, a lot of gamers will keep gaming in the way in the sense of what gaming means right now today, and a lot of new people will be using VR.
Yeah, I agree.
For something else, I don't know.
And like
experiences,
you're saying,
I don't know. Because it's VR, about immersiveness, I don't know.
From what I understand, you've seen like demos and stuff for older people being shown VR. Like you can give like an old lady like a headset and she'll understand it.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, this is crazy. Like experiences, not games, but experiences. A game is always going to have complexities to it, if it has mechanics of any sort. But an experience of just like seeing and looking at wonderful things. And, I was even thinking like once we get like photogrammetry, like video down, we get like virtual zoos. Where we're in there with the fucking animals, And tell me old ladies wouldn't love that shit.
Dude, there's a lot of experiences. Yeah. Isn't there that Everest one, which I'm like super excited about? It's going to be amazing.
Who doesn't want to stand on top of Everest?
I know.
Exactly.
Or like on an exotic waterfall.
And what percentage of people actually get to go to Everest?
Yeah, exactly.
It's either like physical limitations or financial limitations, or let's just face it, it's not everybody's passion.
I know.
But I still would like to try it.
It's like the zoo, dude. Everyone's like, you support the zoo? It's like, fuck you. I'm not going to Africa anytime soon. Yeah, I'm going to go to the zoo and see a lion, and then I'm going to walk away. I'm not going to Africa.
And honestly, American zoos are, they're pretty decent.
Dude, like I said, I'm not.
What are you going to do? It's not like lions out in the pride are happy nowadays either.
I know, dude.
It sucks over there.
Yeah.
Like they starve and they struggle just like everyone else. You know, like, these animals get fed for free.
We always imagine these big, lions, for example. We always imagine these big, epic, beautiful animals. Those are the zoo lions. Yeah. You go out into the jungle and they're like starving and half dead.
I know, dude. They're really not. The wild's not easy. It's not an easy place to live.
It sucks.
Especially,
I imagine that there was probably a time in history where it was better for lions.
I know it must be, and it must just be built into the psyche of animals in general or something. But like, and maybe I'm just weird. But every once in a while, I can't imagine how an animal can actually just be comfortable in the world. They have no like sense of home. I guess maybe they do, but like depends on the animal you're talking about. But yeah, they're just wandering around looking for food. Mm-hmm. Like every day.
Every day is a struggle to find food.
One day,
have you ever seen Planet Earth? It's like that's every episode is about just the animal, and then especially if you're a mother and you have to raise your calf, and it's just taking away so much of your weight.
It's like we'll just go over the bushes here tonight. We'll go over. We'll just go over that hill tomorrow.
Like that's pretty much why it's like it has to be agreed that like dogs and cats are the most intelligent animals because they pulled off what they pulled off.
I know, right?
Oh, right. Yeah,
like
they get to live in houses
humans
now.
With AC and
they all live in houses now. They don't even have a bunch of food.
Yeah. And they can just walk up to a human and yell at them, and the human is just like, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Because what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Kick them? No, that's terrible.
Yeah, almost all humans are nice to dogs and cats.
Yeah, yep. I mean, the humans who are mean to dogs and cats are probably also mean to other humans.
Yeah, no, it's not the norm.
No, not at all. Lions out there starving.
I know. So this is sort of something cool. Look like I guess VR games are going to have a comfort rating system. Talking about good. Like if it's going to make you nauseous or not, right?
Or if it's going to make you scream and pull the headset off.
Yeah.
Because you can't handle horror
Just
games.
Horror? Oh man, dude, that's going to be intense.
Or if there's like the presence of dick butt in it or something. Like, that definitely requires a warning.
Speaking of ratings for things, so I don't know if you saw it, Vice has a documentary about this company called Holodecks.
Okay.
And it's Holodecks, and the end is XXX, so it's an adult thing.
Yeah.
It's actually a really crazy little video because they actually go really in depth of into the production of it. Well, you just say that was straight up. Yep.
Whoops.
Yep.
Is that it?
I don't think so. That was
Holodecks.
No, that's not. No. It's
not dicks.
No, I did it.
Holodecks.
You said XXX.
Holodecks.
Put an E.
It's the holodeck, like in Star Trek, but for porn.
XXX.
Yeah, holodecks. And maybe do a search for Vice.
Oh, okay.
Vice Holodecks.
Yeah, probably 2 words.
We just clicked on porn, people. If you're wondering.
Yeah,
it got weird.
That was super porn. What is happening? I don't know why it's not showing up. Holodecks. No, that's not spelled right either.
With 2 X's?
Holodecks.
HOLODXX.
Yeah, Holodecks. Behind the scenes, there we go. The video is graphic. There's no porn in the video, but it shows like a lot of like photo scans and stuff. And it's just crazy because like they have like 7 or 8 different girls, but like they took like all the data of them, but no one knows what they're even able to do with it. But it's not like video. It's not video. That's the thing. It's actually like 3D scans of them. They don't really show a whole lot, but they show her going through the process. In the pictures, you can see she sits and she's surrounded by cameras and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So yep. So that's.
If you guys are wondering, it's spelled HOLODEXXX.
Yep. It's like the holodeck.
Avatar sex. Dude, look, you're just straight up scanning your body.
I mean, she's a porn actress.
Yeah, I mean,
she's used to it.
I wonder how much money, how much do you think just the first girls are going to get the money and then everyone else is just going to be able to copy these girls? And
well, here's the thing. So the thing that's interesting about this is I was thinking about this. If this happens, this might hurt their careers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because they have this now. Like this might be, if they didn't get paid a lot of money for it, then they might not be making enough, But at the same time, when I watch this video, she's retired from porn.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like her last thing she's doing.
Oh.
So it kind of is like,
yeah.
I'm not going to be competing with myself anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like
she might get residual rights to its usage.
I know.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
she
saying.
could.
The first girls
they
would
might
make the
have
most
a license.
money.
Well, or not even the first, but like here's how I look at it. It's just like if that was true, then like you could sort of say, well, just taking any pictures or video and that would be it. But no, it's like there's always people always want new stuff. Forever.
Sure,
new content forever. There will always be a demand for new content of all types. Like,
but there will also be those kind of like special things that are always like timeless. You know? Like if there was like a Marilyn Monroe or something, obviously they can't do real photo scans of her, but let's say there was. You know that she would kind of be like a one that people use for a long time through history. Maybe nowadays she is kind of dying down a little bit by today's standards. She's still kind of well known, but she's not like what she was.
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying, though. People will want new things.
Yeah.
Because people get sick of it.
But no, I mean, I think this does also, though, contribute to extending the life of something like that.
Sure.
I mean,
also, it's like the way they do it, her hair is pulled back like super tight and everything. So it's like she's kind of a blank canvas. That's at least with her, they could do like hairstyles
they can
and things like that.
change her up because it's digital. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
This first, what I mean by the first girls is like the first ones that they actually do this. They lay down, they get their body scanned or photoed or whatever, and then after that, it's up to the graphics team to change that girl up in any way they can't. They imagine it's like Photoshop what they do to girls.
I think they'll always have like new girls like full on, and there's like one guy they also have. So there's
there's a dude in there somewhere too.
We're not sexist.
That's a fair.
Holodecks is not sexist.
Just imagine
like 7 and 1, right?
Just imagine giant 3D wiener pointing at you.
Oh no!
Imagine that's your job. You're just like,
you're like,
scan
what if
dudes.
what if you buy it and like you want to like play it and you actually click on him, and then you're like,
and the wiener follows you no matter which way you face. It's just always like pointing right at you. You're like,
There's the rating. Intense wiener might go in your eye.
Yeah, that's the that's the one that needs a dick butt rating.
Foveated rendering. Of like, don't look at it. Don't look at it. You looked at it.
It's like 8K resolution.
Oh my god, you looked at it.
They know.
Imagine you like fall asleep and you wake up and it's just there.
Just a giant virtual dick in your face.
Good morning. Dude.
But yeah, so it's interesting. Like in the video, like you can tell she just did a demo of something and she seems almost a little like shocked. Like, wow, that's really real. Whoa, what did I just do?
Yeah.
That's cool though. I mean, a lot of people are saying like porn is already through the roof in VR. Like it, I don't know, content or just money, or maybe even it's just interest. But
I know, it's funny. I know Gear VR is used a lot.
Really?
With VR.
That's
porn.
why Ellie.
But obviously, it's 360. It's 360 video. It's not like what they're doing. Where who knows what
3D
they're like.
and shit.
Yeah, like these guys are trying to create something magical. But anyways, yeah. So HTC Vive, the company. I don't know if we saw this a little bit. Is giving you phones a little bit of a break, and they're focusing pretty hardcore on the Vive.
I know.
So that's kind of interesting.
That is pretty cool. I mean, they're putting a lot of money into the VR, and I love their new chaperone system. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Little invention. They came out with. A lot of people, I don't know, maybe it was just on Reddit, but they were up in the air about it. Like, this wasn't the big announcement. I thought it was going to be.
There's been a lot of really frustrating conversations on the subreddits recently, Oculus subreddits and the Vive subreddits. It's the fanboyism's happening. Unfortunately, you can't fight it. And it's too bad because really, what it should be is, I want the Vive because room scale is fucking exciting to me. Yeah. Like that's really hand controllers, room scale VR. That's exciting to me. That's what I want. The Oculus is, they're obviously focused on seated and standing in one spot experiences, which is great, and it's probably gonna be less expensive. Mm-hmm. So really, people just need to get over this whole like competitive thing and just embrace what they want. Like, do you want to sit or stand only and use a headset and with an Xbox One controller, or at least for a while, or do you want the headset? Do you want the full thing? Chaperone, people who are talk bad about Chaperone, I feel like they actually don't want room scale. And so they're just talking bad about it for no reason. Because honestly, that Chaperone thing is so necessary.
It's pretty badass.
It's so necessary.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a tool. I look at it as a tool. It can also offer cool things, but I look at it as something
you can turn it on and off. Like, what are you complaining about?
Yeah, it was something we needed before to get rid of. Yeah, we need to make VR a smooth, accessible experience, and this is just one big step towards that accessibility. Yep. And it could also be used for other kinds of immersion enhancement and actual games and interaction. Who knows?
Yeah,
that's great. But even if it never did, as it stands, I find it. Yeah, it's totally like
exactly.
It's something that all the other ones are going to incorporate to some degree. As
anybody who wants to eventually be, room scale, or any kind of movement, because it's like before, it's a 15 by 15 foot space they could work up to. But really, I mean, aside from like people like me, who would really make space for 15 by 15 VR experience? So you're going to have something smaller, you're going to have tables or chairs or something around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Suddenly, that's okay to have this stuff around. Yeah, they'll show up in your chaperone, you know, and it might kind of affect some of your immersion. But also, you're going to feel so comfortable now.
Yeah.
Like you can suddenly be doing a high intensity game.
Not worry about
hurting yourself.
Yeah. Whether you or your pet
or break your controllers and something,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and also like one thing that's really exciting is say you're playing a game like the magic game, the fantasy game of Star Citizen, okay? The game that we all hope exists one day. And you're running around and you're first person and you want to get in your cockpit. You can now like imagine, this is all imagination, obviously. You can imagine turn on the chaperone system. You can go see your chair, find your cockpit chair, go sit down, and press a button so your in-game character you now load into your chair.
Yeah.
That's like badass.
It would be a very seamless experience of you running to getting into your cockpit.
Wow,
flying.
Dude, that is actually really cool. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's super exciting.
Yeah, it wouldn't be fumbly. Sure, it wouldn't represent it like in some super accurate way, but it would be smooth. It would smooth out the otherwise very awkward attempts to try and make it work together. Yeah, and you could just, before you know it, you're using your cool joystick and throttle system when you were just standing up over to the side, 5 minutes ago.
And you can put that chair outside of your initial chaperone box.
Yeah, so it's out of your way.
And so now, but now the chaperone box isn't like a true limitation, you know, because now you can see beyond it and see, like, there's my chair, I'm going to sit my chair. It's such a fantastic little addition. And honestly, I think that's really the big thing is like, if you want room scale and you've thought about room scale a lot, you kind of see how powerful this is.
Yeah, for sure.
Where people who have been so negative towards room scale since the beginning, they don't actually see any positive in it. And it's just, I don't really think they're really giving it a fair.
And aren't there people inventing a way that you can walk in almost like a zigzag and it feels like you're walking a long distance? It's almost like back and forth, but you don't feel it. But you only walk a short distance.
I've seen ones where you walk in a circle, and it still requires a decent amount of space. Where you walk in a big circle around an arena, and in game you feel like you're running in straight lines. And so what's cool is like, you can be in your little main arena, walk through this place, and feel like you go on a big long straight line journey to a whole different place. But in real life, you're in the same little circle, and then you just go right back into the thing. And they say because if it's big enough, because actually if you close your eyes and try to walk in a straight line, it's impossible without sound and stuff like that to help guide you. Your balance, you just don't have that kind of accuracy. So what they do in the VR game is that they just slowly tilt you, to the right as you're running around this circle, like counterclockwise. Say they would just slowly tilt you, to the left. I'm sorry, to the left.
Yeah.
And it would feel like you're going straight, and it's kind of cool. But also what they did is they did another one where you go and you're in a little room and you get down to a vent. And you crawl through a vent system.
Say that.
Yeah, and that's the one where they do it in like literally a bedroom size place. And because of how they say basically getting down on your knees and walking through a vent system, it's very easy to confuse you quickly. And so when you come out the vent, you're right back in your room again, but it feels like you traveled to some other room. It's just it's obviously they're super gimmicky, but honestly, that sounds like fun though.
Dude, that sounds really cool to me. That'd be so fun.
I still think someone needs to figure out a good way of making a game based on that movie, The Cube. Where you go through each room, and then each room is like booby trapped potentially.
That would be awesome.
Have a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Tough though.
Yeah, it would be really tough. Yeah.
Kind of tricky.
All right. Well, we're going to that show. What is that show?
Oh, VRLA.
Yeah, VRLA, and we'll try and post some feedback on that
and chit chat about what we try.
Yeah,
hoping to be able to finally try the Vive.
I know.
Come on.
Yeah.
We're just standing in line, switching lines. Like, all right, bathroom break for you, bathroom break for me.
Seriously.
I know. That's going to be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's ridiculous that it's something I'm so excited about. I've never even tried that one. I've only tried the Oculus CV1 headset. Mm-hmm. I've never tried one-to-one motion controllers in VR.
Dun, dun, dun.
And that's like, I believe it's what I want.
Yeah. And by that time, would we know about the Vive price, or is that in February?
Vive is in February, and VR LA is on January 23rd.
Yeah.
So.
No. Yeah. Everyone keeps saying this is Vive's chance, but you know what? Do what you got to do, Vive. We believe in you.
Yeah. And also, Steam, their content showcase is at the end of January sometime. So we're not sure when it is exactly. So it could be before or after VR LA. It's probably after VR LA. So we'll probably hear some news about what they've been working on.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's something cool.
All right, guys. We'll let you know. But for now, be safe, and we'll see you later.
All right. Peace.